Welcome to Podcast Sane Vision. Today, we bring you a review and analysis of Alien, Romulus, the 7th installment in this iconic science fiction and horror series. Directed by Fede Alvarez, this film takes us back to the dark and mysterious universe of Alien, focusing on the story of Rain, Cailee Spaeny, a worker in an outer space mining colony, and her android companion Andy, David Johnson.
Yeah, it's like getting a sneak peek through a foreign lens, right?
Yeah.
So this is the 7th film in the series.
Okay.
And according to this review, it takes place between, Alien and Aliens.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm already hooked. The review, kind of paints a bleak picture, right? It describes this main character, Rain, as like this young woman trapped on this harsh, sunless mining colony.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not your typical vacation spot.
Definitely not.
So what do you make of that? What do you think?
Well, that setting immediately sets a tone, doesn't it?
Right.
Like, alien films have always thrived on isolation and claustrophobia.
Right.
But this time it seems like the environment itself is a character.
Yeah.
Adding like another layer of pressure on our main character.
Totally. So it seems like, escape is a major theme here.
Yeah.
She's desperate to get off this rock, right?
Yeah.
And she's not alone. She's got this android companion named Andy, who's described as, quote, defective, unquote. What do you think that means in the Alien universe?
Right.
We've seen so many different androids. Some are helpful, some are not so much.
Exactly. And that word defective really jumps out.
Yes.
Is he malfunctioning? Is he dangerous? Or could it be something, more nuanced?
Yeah.
Maybe he's like developed a sense of self.
Right.
A conscience even. Remember Bishop?
Oh, yeah, from Aliens.
Yeah. He wrestled with his own identity.
Totally.
As an android.
Yeah.
So could Andy be going through something similar?
That is such an interesting point. A defective android.
Yeah.
Could be a huge wild card, right?
Oh, yeah.
In this story.
Totally.
I'm already picturing some tense moments between, him and Rain.
Yeah.
Especially if they're both trying to survive this.
Right.
And speaking of survival, this review, it doesn't really paint a hopeful picture for the rest of the human characters.
No.
They're described as a monotonous collection of victims.
Ooh. Ouch.
Ouch is right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a classic horror trope, isn't it?
It is.
Like sometimes it feels like, the supporting characters are just there to up the body count.
Right.
And I wonder if there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
Like, do you think the reviewer is maybe hinting at a contrast between the well-developed xenomorphs,
right?
The aliens,
Yeah.
and these like more disposable human characters? What if that's like a deliberate choice by the filmmakers?
That's interesting.
Like a commentary on how corporate greed devalues human life.
Whoa. Okay, hold on. That's a deep read.
Is it?
Yeah, but I can see where you're going with that.
The Alien franchise, it's never shied away from social commentary.
For sure.
And, speaking of the xenomorphs, the review raves about how awesome they look.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, they stayed very true to H.R. Geiger's original designs.
Okay.
Which is crucial for any Alien film, right?
Oh, yeah.
Those creatures are as iconic as the franchise itself.
Absolutely. For those who haven't seen the original Alien film, Geiger's designs were groundbreaking.
Yeah.
They combined organic and mechanical elements in a way that was terrifying and beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, his xenomorphs are pure nightmare fuel.
They are.
But the fact that they look so good in this new film, it speaks volumes about, the filmmaker's commitment to the franchise.
Totally agree. But get this.
What?
They've digitally resurrected Ian Holm as Ash.
What?
The android from the first film?
Wow.
That's either brilliant or a huge misstep. I don't know which.
That is a bold choice.
Yeah.
Bringing back, a deceased actor using technology is always, a bit of a gamble.
Yeah.
Will it look realistic?
Yeah.
Will it be distracting? Or will it add a layer of creepiness to this film?
Right.
We'll have to see. But I have to say, this reviewer definitely picked up on some deeper themes.
Yeah.
They specifically highlighted this contrast, between the xenomorphs and the seemingly less developed human characters.
Yeah, that tension between spectacle and substance seems to be like a recurring theme. So I'm curious to see how it plays out in the full film.
For sure.
Okay, so let's take a closer look at what the review says about Rain and Andy, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. What's fascinating is how they describe the bond between Rain and Andy.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just companions,
Right.
It's like siblings.
Oh, wow.
And remember, Andy is supposed to be defective.
Right.
So what does that mean for their relationship?
Yeah, it really makes you think.
Yeah.
We're used to seeing androids, in the Alien films being either totally subservient or like completely hostile.
Right.
But this like defective thing, it opens a whole new world of possibilities.
Exactly. Maybe Andy's defect, allows him to connect with Rain on a deeper level.
Right.
Empathize with her desire for escape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe it makes him unpredictable.
Oh.
Even volatile.
Oh, interesting.
Either way, I think their dynamic is going to be much more complex.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Than we've seen before.
Yeah, and let's not forget, they're stuck in this super dangerous situation.
Yeah.
The review mentions that they find this abandoned space station.
Oh.
You know what that means, right?
Classic horror movie setup.
Yes.
Isolated location, dark corridors, potential threats, lurking around every corner.
Exactly.
Just begging for trouble.
Oh yeah, it's like that's where the xenomorphs are going to be.
Exactly.
Speaking of classic though, the review actually points out a potential problem.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently the director, Fede Alvarez, gets a little carried away with the visuals.
Oh, okay.
It says he spends more time showcasing the set design than developing the script.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Well, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the one hand, like, stunning visuals can really enhance the atmosphere.
Oh, for sure.
At a horror film.
Right. Right.
Think about the Nostromo.
Oh, yeah, the ship.
Yeah, from the original Alien.
Yeah.
That ship was practically a character in itself.
Totally.
Added to that sense of claustrophobia and dread.
That's a great point.
But if the story and characters aren't strong enough, even the best visuals, they won't save a film.
Right.
So hopefully Alien Romulus finds a good balance.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, for sure.
So what else does this review tell us about Rain, our main character?
Well, they praise Cailee Spaeny'S performance.
Okay.
They say she's captivating and easy to root for.
Okay.
But they also point out that, she's young and physically slight.
Oh.
Which makes her seem even more vulnerable.
Interesting. So that could be like a deliberate choice by the filmmakers.
It could be. It could
be. To subvert expectations,
right? Exactly.
Remember Ripley wasn't this like hardened warrior in the first Alien. She was just like an ordinary woman thrust into extraordinary circumstances.
Yeah.
So maybe Rain's going to go through a similar transformation.
That's what I'm thinking.
I like that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see her start out, vulnerable and gradually evolve into a more capable survivor.
Right, because she's going to need all the help she can get.
Oh, absolutely.
If she wants to survive against the xenomorphs.
Ah, yes. The stars of the show. Right. The review reminds us, that H.R. Giger's designs, they still hold up.
Yeah.
After all these years, they are terrifying, iconic, instantly recognizable.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a twist here that I found really intriguing.
Ooh, okay, what is it?
The reviewer claims that the xenomorphs are more interesting than Rain's human companions.
Oh, wow.
They said the other characters are just like a monotonous collection of victims.
Wow.
There to be picked off one by one.
Wow, that's harsh.
It is, but is it a fair criticism? I mean, we've seen this before in horror films.
Totally.
Sometimes the supporting characters are, pretty one-dimensional.
Right.
It's like the filmmakers are saying, don't get too attached to these folks.
Right.
They're probably not going to make it.
Right.
But I wonder if there's a deeper meaning here.
Okay, yeah.
Could it be a commentary on, the way corporations treat their workers as expendable?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely ties into that whole corporate greed thing.
It does.
That we keep coming back to.
Yeah.
So let's shift gears for a sec.
Okay.
And talk about Andy the android.
Okay, yeah.
The review suggests that he's actually the most complex character
in
the whole film.
Interesting.
And get this, he undergoes some kind of upgrade.
An upgrade?
That changes everything.
That's intriguing. What kind of upgrade are we talking?
Right.
Does it enhance his abilities?
Yeah.
Intelligence, emotional capacity?
Yeah, and how does it affect his relationship with Rain?
Right, exactly.
Does it bring them closer or push them apart?
Sure.
So many questions.
I know.
The review actually compares Andy to the androids played by Michael Fassbender.
Okay.
In Alien Covenant.
Right.
Which really delved into artificial intelligence and the nature of consciousness.
Right, that's a great comparison.
Yeah.
Those androids were fascinating.
Yeah.
Always blurring the lines between human and machine.
Questioning their own existence.
Right.
Could Andy be going through something similar?
Possibly. And if his upgrade, intensifies this internal conflict,
right,
it could lead to some, thought-provoking moments.
Oh, for sure.
We already know that Rain sees him as a brother.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how complicated things might get.
Absolutely. And to add another layer of intrigue, the review mentions a shocking cameo.
Wait, don't tell me. Is it?
Yes, it's Ian Holm, digitally resurrected as Ash.
whoa, I can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it.
Right.
Because they're doing this kind of thing more and more these days.
Yeah, they are.
But still, what do you think it means?
I know.
Is it just like a cool throwback?
Right.
Or does it have like a deeper significance?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Using CGI to bring back deceased actors is always a bit controversial.
For sure.
Is it a way to honor their legacy, or is it exploiting their image?
Right.
And from a storytelling perspective,
will it be convincing, or will it take us out of the movie?
Right. So many things to consider.
I know.
The review doesn't go into too much detail.
Okay.
But it does make one interesting observation.
Okay.
They use this cameo to highlight the fact that the true villains in the Alien franchise have always been the corporate executives.
That's such a crucial point.
Yeah.
It's not just about surviving the xenomorphs.
Right.
It's about confronting the human greed and ambition.
Right.
That often puts people in harm's way.
Exactly.
In the first place.
And it sounds like Alien Romulus is carrying on that tradition.
Seems like it.
We've got a compelling heroine, a complex android companion, terrifying xenomorphs, and a dash of corporate conspiracy.
It does seem like they're hitting all the familiar notes, but with some intriguing new twists.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see if it lives up to the legacy of the franchise. But based on this review, I'm intrigued.
Me too. Okay, so let's dive into the final part of this deep dive.
Yeah.
We've talked about the characters, the creatures, the visuals, the themes, but what's the overall message of this film?
Yeah.
What's it really all about? I think the reviewer gives us a pretty clear idea, of what the film is trying to say.
Yeah.
They call it like a story about adversity and survival.
Okay.
About the strength and resilience of the human spirit.
Right.
And we see that, in Rain's determination to escape her bond with Andy.
Right.
And in their fight against, these xenomorphs.
Yeah.
Even in the darkest corners of space.
Right.
There's this spark of hope that just won't die out.
It's beautifully put.
Oh, thanks.
And it makes you think about, the lengths we go to survive.
Right.
The connections we make.
Yeah.
When faced with danger.
Totally. And,
And it's not just physical survival, right?
No.
It's about, holding on to our humanity, our compassion,
Mm-hmm.
even when, everything is trying to crush it.
Exactly. And that ties into, another key theme the reviewer highlights.
Okay.
Which is, corporate greed.
Right.
They explicitly call out the executives as the true villains.
Mm-hmm.
It suggests, that it's not just the xenomorphs we should be afraid of.
Yeah.
But the systems that put people in danger just for profit.
Yeah, it's a theme that resonates,
Oh, for sure.
so strongly in this universe.
Right.
I mean, time and time again, we see these, ordinary people caught in the crosshairs of corporate ambition.
Right.
They're sent into these, dangerous situations.
Yeah.
They're denied crucial information.
Right.
All in the name of profit.
Right. And that's almost scarier than the monsters themselves.
It is.
Because it reflects our own world, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
The film is holding a mirror up to society, asking us to think about, the ethical implications of corporate power.
For sure.
Makes you think.
It does.
So I'm curious, knowing our listener, they're probably already fans of Alien, right?
Right.
So how do you think this film, being set between Alien and Aliens, how do you think it might, add to the mythology?
Well, I think it has the potential to, deepen our understanding of what led to the militarization in Aliens.
Oh, okay.
Right. Maybe this film will reveal more about Weyland-Yutani.
Yeah, the corporation.
Yeah, their tactics and their willingness to sacrifice people.
Right, for profit.
Yeah, for profit.
So it could be a missing piece of the puzzle.
It could
connecting the first two films.
Exactly.
And what about Andy, the android?
Oh, yeah.
This defective nature and his upgrade, right?
Yeah.
It could give us new insight into how AI evolved in this world.
Yeah, maybe he's like a precursor to the androids we see later on.
Right. Right.
More rebellious.
More advanced, right.
Right, exactly.
It's fascinating to think about how, his story might connect to all these bigger themes
It is.
of artificial consciousness. So even if you're not a diehard Alien fan,
right,
this film just sounds like a wild ride.
It does.
Intense atmosphere, those creatures, and thought-provoking themes.
For sure. Alien Romulus seems to have it all.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I want to leave the listener with one final thought.
Okay, yeah.
The review praised the xenomorphs, right?
Yeah.
But it criticized the human characters. What do you think about that? Does it mean that, filmmakers sometimes choose spectacle over substance?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Especially in sci-fi and horror?
Yeah, I mean, we could debate this for hours.
We could.
But I think it comes down to balance, you know?
Right.
You want those, like, thrilling moments.
Yeah.
But you also want to care about the characters.
Exactly.
So hopefully Alien Romulus finds that balance.
I hope so too.
All right, well, that's it for this deep dive.
Yeah.
I think we covered a lot.
We did.
We explored some cool themes.
Yeah.
We had some thought-provoking conversations.
Right, yeah.
And we can't wait to hear your thoughts after you've seen Alien.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
En español también. Si disfrutaste nuestro análisis de lado lino de opiniones honestas y reflexiones profundas, no olvides activar la campanita, suscribir en nuestro canal y unirud a nosotros en este emocionante viaje a través del cosmos de Alien.